Nah.
What's up?
How are you?
Doing well. Is Gio on yet?
It's the pixelated version of Gio Conte.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Hey, all right, that's a little bit better. You're like what's going on? Like, good
Yeah,
evening
I don't know
to
what's
you.
going on. I don't think I got no Wi-Fi.
Here we go. I think we're better
How's it
now.
going, Mike? What up, Plager?
What up? How are you?
Plager. So anyway, Gio, good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Adam, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you?
Yes. All right. See you Unicorns for lunch. Monday, every day. Every Monday we do this live here on the stream. As always, we have Adam Plager at Play by Plager, who is not only the Sea Unicorns play-by-play guy, but he's also an all-star play-by-play guy for the entire Futures League. And we also, our guest today is Mr. Gio Conte, who has been synonymous with Sea Unicorns baseball for the last couple of years. And Gio, I got to ask you right off the bat, how bad did I piss your girlfriend off?
Pretty bad. It was just first question I got was, what makes you in with the ladies? And then I was like, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Mike. So glad I'm here.
It wasn't even. Well, see, I knew that you had a girlfriend or have.
Yeah. You've heard the story, I'm assuming, right?
No. All I know is that she commented on it and she goes, "You mean that he is in love with his girlfriend and I'm in love with him?" And I'm like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course,
Absolutely.
of course. And I didn't mean anything by it, other than it's like you get out there, you got the chains flopping, and you got the swag, and that's really it. So tell me, what is the story?
So I actually met her at Centennial last summer. She was there as a fan, saw her in the stands, put my number on a ball, signed it, tossed it to her, and then that was how that started. So I actually met her because of the Futures League. Funny enough.
Nice. That's a pretty good story. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. And now we're moving in together, Sienna. Yeah.
Now, how long have you guys been together?
A little over a year now, dating wise.
Now, does she go to Siena as well?
No, she's graduated. She's a nurse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, Adam, why don't you jump in? Here I am. Otherwise, I won't shut up.
Sure. Yeah. No. First things first. I'm glad to have Gio come on. Long awaited to have him come in. I know it's his second season with the team and one of our high leverage pitchers and probably a leader in our clubhouse. So, yeah, I thought it was right to bring him on. Team is playing our best baseball right now. We're heading towards the postseason push. So, what better than to bring in a second-year guy, a veteran of the Futures League? Great story, high leverage player for us and a leader in our clubhouse. A lot of guys look up to him, and a great story with him and Chuck. I'm sure we'll get into that today as well, of why Charles Ennis decided to get back into the game of baseball. As Chuck says, he's his creative teammate guy. So I think it's awesome. I think he's a big part of our team, big part of our story. And if we're going to have a deep run, it's going to go through this guy right here. So I can't wait to see what happens here.
I remember, last year was our first year streaming Sea Unicorns baseball, and you're probably Gio. You're probably one of two players that really made an impact on me for different reasons. Number one was AJ Soldra, with coming around and scoring that run, and you with this. I'm going to kill you attitude on the mound. And I think the coolest thing to me, and I think, and Adam, hopefully you can you can speak on this. I'm sure you can. Last year I was doing the camera right outside of the broadcast booth, and you were pitching in the All-Star game.
Okay.
And I saw so many scouts with radar guns, with jugs guns, and they were just clocking you. And then they were charting all of your pitches. And I'm thinking, this is for real. This is not, you hear things on social media, and those are people that are just misinformed. But you're serious. I mean, I had to be 30 at least that were pointed at you.
I didn't even know that, so that's sick to know.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good feeling. Yeah, last year's All-Star game was a good time for it. I went out there just trying to have fun, have a good time. Like, it was the All-Star game. I think I pitched like a day or two before. So I told Murph before I went out there, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go hit a number today, and we'll see if I'm around the zone. But I'm gonna try to hit a number today. So I guess it was a good day to be doing that.
Yeah. Adam, do you remember? Do you remember his performance in the All-Star game last year?
I don't remember it clearly. I think the All-Star game was kind of a blur. I remember bits and pieces of it. I remember the experience and seeing all the scouts. I remember being there for Scout Day, which I think was before the All-Star game. It started at 10 a.m. and you see all the scouts coming in, and he's like, I'm with the San Diego Padres, Colorado Rockies, and Reds and Cubs, and they keep going down and down the list. And I think by the end of it, there were maybe like at least 15 MLB scouts that had filled into Dodge Stadium. And I was like, wow, like this is legit. And then I like go to see, I was like walking around the ballpark. I had to get some stuff done. And they had the scout day for the pitchers who were in the bullpen, literally 15 radar guns pointed over there. And I just remember seeing that. And then Jim Leyritz going on the field, talking to the players and what his messaging was for the guys, and him coming into the broadcast booth and sharing his story and just telling guys it doesn't matter where you play. If you're good, you're going to be found, and it's about your attitude and your work ethic. And as long as you bring those two things with you to the ballpark every day, it's probably going to be a good day for you. And you're going to have success. And I thought that hit home with me, even though I'm not maybe on the field playing. It's the same mentality. You guys want to take the next jump in their career. And he was found playing summer ball in the middle of nowhere, he says it. And all of a sudden he's making an impact with the New York Yankees, helping them win World Series. So I think it goes to show it doesn't matter where you are, where you're playing, who you play for, as long as you play the game the right way and respect the game for what it is. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just remember coming to Dodge Stadium and seeing those many scouts and just like asking like where they need to be, and like they're wearing their MLB credentials and they're coming into Dodge Stadium. And I was like, this is going to be pretty sweet to see how this all plays out. So I just kind of remember the overall picture. I don't remember, individual performances. I know that it was a runaway game and Team Rose City won it. So it was a good time for the home community to see the home side win it. So it's always a lot of fun. And there were a lot of high-end players here. And then, like you said, a guy like AJ Soldier was in it. He won the MVP, and right now he's in the Arizona Complex League with the LA Dodgers. And it's maybe 14 months later after that, or I think even less, like 12 months later. Now he's in the Complex League playing rookie ball as a prospect for the LA Dodgers. So it goes to show that in that quick of a time, that's how fast things can change.
Yeah, I mean, two players, and I've mentioned it on this show many times: Ben Rice, Luis Guerrero. Both future league kids and stuff. So Gio, let me ask you a question. Knowing that you had a bunch of scouts, looking at you, and believe me, I was watching. They weren't clocking everybody, not at all. But with them clocking you or just finding this out, I mean, how does that? I mean, that must pump you up, to a different degree.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a good feeling to know that those eyes are on me, and I didn't even know that till you mentioned it, so that's cool. And it's all about just like the work that goes into it. It doesn't feel good because there's scouts clocking my number. It feels good because I put in years of constant hours and hard work and all that to get there. So I guess that's what feels better, is it's more rewarding than anything.
Sure.
I wouldn't say it's like a cool feeling or whatever, because, at the end of the day, I still haven't accomplished anything big in the baseball world. I still haven't accomplished what I'm seeking to do. So
what do you want to do? What do
I
you
want to
seek
play professional baseball.
Okay.
And I want to make myself undeniable in doing that. So I just need to, over the next year or two, prove that I can make an impact on any team I'd be put on.
Yeah, I mean, you you definitely have it. I really think that you actually you have the arm to do it. I love it. I love the way, like, sometimes you come over the top, sometimes you drop down, and I think it can get really, really confusing to batters and stuff. And when you're on, I think undeniable is a good word. Nobody's hitting you, not at all. Adam, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's got electric stuff, and it kind of helps when you can switch your arm slot and you know that you can live in the zone, and just believing that your stuff is going to dominate. It doesn't matter who's stepping into the batter's box, that you're going to overpower them, and just having confidence in your stuff. Like I've talked about it with our pitching coach, Zach Itcher, with any one of our pitchers, players that believe in their stuff and they trust their instincts, they're going to do well for themselves. You just have to walk up to the ballpark and believe that you're
I
the
think
best player there, and nobody's
conviction's a
better
really
than
good
you.
word
And
for it.
even if they are, that you're going to still continue to dominate when you go out there and pitch.
Gio, go ahead.
I think he's got that mentality.
Gio, repeat what you were just saying.
So I think conviction's a really good word for it. I think similar with me, I know that I throw every pitch. If my catcher puts something down, I'm throwing it with conviction. And I think that's something that has been helping our bullpen a lot. We got guys like Eric Mathewson. He's been absolutely lights out recently. He's throwing every single pitch with conviction right now. Every single pitch has a purpose. He's executing it, and he's throwing every pitch with his whole body, his whole heart, whole soul. And that's what you got to do on the mound.
I think your whole pitching staff really has grown this year. Not just yourself, but Mathewson, Cardman, Manzi. The list goes on and on.
Connolly's been hot lately.
Wooten. I mean, you guys are solid. I mean, I think you're a little shaky at the beginning, but after that, absolutely lights out. You guys have been really, really good, especially and out of the pen as well.
Yeah, bullpen was honestly our biggest concern early in the year. For lack of better terms, our bullpen kind of sucked the first couple weeks. So I'm glad that as a staff, like Gitch got us all together, talked to us all, was able to really get our mental right and get our minds right for us to be as successful as possible on the mound, and it really turned things around. Guys like Mathewson, Connolly, Guin, and dudes like that stepping up made a huge difference, because now we see all these younger guys coming in and absolutely dominating. Now the rest of the staff looks at them like, oh, we got to do the same thing too, So we just took a lot of right steps all at the same time, and I think things have been chaining together really well. I hope the ball keeps rolling this way for us for sure.
There's a question up on the screen. Can you see that?
If you're in a bad mood.
Tim wants to know, if you're in a bad mood, does it affect the way you play?
I think it makes me play better. I'm a very emotional pitcher, so if I'm mad, the other team's probably not going to have a fun day. Yeah. If I'm mad, I'm probably pitching better, honestly.
All right. So remember, somebody pissed Gio off the next time he's coming out of the pen. There was a question I was gonna ask you, and for the life of me, I'm old. I mean, things just kind of go in and then out of my head, and that's it. Adam, take it away.
Yeah, I think going off that point, I think Gio's been a victim of some plays behind him that obviously should be made, and they haven't been made at times, and it puts you, where you feel like you're on an island on the mountain and you're kind of living in your own world. But I've loved his compete level, his work ethic throughout the summer, where he just battles his way out of it, minimizes damage. Yesterday was a great part of that. There was a grounder hit to second. You think maybe you should have a double play, you're out of the inning, and he induces back-to-back pieces of soft contact that didn't go really anywhere, and just like that, before you know it, we're out of the jam, and he keeps the ball game where it is. For some guys that could blow up an inning, and things really get out of control. There's been plenty of examples throughout the summer. You can go back and watch the tape of some of his outings, and I think just the next pitch mentality, it's such a big part for any pitcher. And when you have success, the way that you recover from something like that, and you're a good teammate about it, you pick up your teammates, and you know that you have their backs the same way that they want to have your back on the mound. So that's something that I've enjoyed watching. Obviously you want to see some of those plays be made, but he comes right back. He attacks the next guy. Doesn't matter who it is, and before you know it, we're out of an inning without any damage. And those swings in a game can change the outcome of it. And he's done a great job in keeping us in the game to give us a chance to win the game.
I think one of the scenarios that just kind of hit me was yesterday, and not even on the Norwich side, but actually Westfield, as the starter in the second game actually didn't pitch bad at all.
No.
He was actually the victim of some errors in the field, won by the third baseman. Obviously, the third baseman, he probably affected by the sign that Jimmy doesn't like fun. Did you see that? You didn't see that? There's a story
I
there.
didn't see that.
Yes, is Jimmy doesn't like fun. So, but and also the shortstop had a couple of blunders, unfortunately. But it happens. But the comment isn't for the fielding. It was more for as the pitcher kind of being the victim of some poor fielding. How do you feel, Gio, when you know you've done everything you could? You know you're going to get that ground ball out, and next thing you know, you didn't get the ground ball out and 2-run score.
Yeah, I mean, getting unlucky happens. It's part of the game. It's part of baseball. Fielders never want to make errors, so if you get on them, you just look like you're not a good teammate. At the end of the day, it's part of the game, and the same guys that are booting one ground ball or like Scan did yesterday, diving into the stands, making a catch afterwards. Scan made 3 great plays yesterday, with that being one of them. And there have been days where not even him, but errors are made, but you just got to know that you're going to throw another pitch, another ball is going to be in play, and your guy's going to make a sick play on it. Yeah. For every time your defense makes a mistake, they also bail you out. I can't count on one hand how many times I've been bailed out just this summer by my defense. So,
well, I don't know. You must have felt pretty good yesterday because you actually kissed one of your players.
Yeah, I did kiss Scan on the cheek yesterday.
I thought that was so cool. I'm like, man, is he happy?
He dove into the stands for me.
That was an amazing play.
That was unreal. You expect that out to be made 0 out of 10 times. So watching him dive into the stands, get that out for me to get me in the dugout a little quicker was a good feeling. Like I said, as many times as you get screwed over by the defense, they also bail you out just as many times, if not 2 times as often. So that's just what you got to remind yourself of as a pitcher.
So, Adam, the Unicorns have won 6 in a row. They're above 500. They're looking really, really strong. Probably at the best time of the year that they could be doing this. I mean, you guys are peaking at the perfect time. Adam, what do you think? I mean, we're not far from the playoffs at all. Of course, there's Worcester, that's the top of the league. Vermont. Unfortunately, Nashua has lost, I think, 10 in a row. Yeah, they're kind of dropped like a rock. And then there's Worcester. I mean, I'm sorry, Westfield, they try real hard. So we'll leave it at that. But do you want to hear the Jimmy doesn't like fun story?
Yeah. Sure. Let's hear it.
So they're every so often you get hecklers in the crowd, right? And there's some
Thursday special.
There's some that will come on Thursday. We'll sit on the right field line, and they're coming out with anything, and of course following it up with "you bum," all that stuff. Which some of it's kind of funny, some of it's not. But there's this group of 4 kids that sit right down by the visitors' dugout, and I guess the third baseman, Jimmy. I guess they put their hands out for a high five. He didn't. He wouldn't do it.
No high five.
No high five. And I guess it was because of some of the heckling. And now they're kids. They weren't terrible. I mean, they weren't being nasty. I don't think they knew how. Plus, one of the kids' mom was sitting right there, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't. And that's the first time that I've ever seen that really, in the Futures League.
Yeah.
But yeah, I even went down there and I said, "Look, can you just give the kid a high five?" I said, the kid even came over and apologized. He still wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just bad juju. That's bad karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen a sea unicorn look at a fan go, maybe later, and just kind of
Never.
blow off.
Never.
Never have seen that.
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen that from anybody. That's the first time I've ever seen that really in the Futures League, to be honest with you.
Futures League's definitely a fan-oriented league. I love it.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. It
Yeah,
has
you
to
guys
be.
are
I mean,
superstars. You guys are superstars to
we-
these kids.
Oh yeah, and it's great. It's the most fun thing ever.
Yeah. So let's talk about Adam. Let's talk about the transfer portal.
yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of it, to be honest with you, for certain reasons. I think it can go either way. What's your theory on the transfer portal? And the reason why I ask is because, of course, Gio, you're part of that right now.
Yeah.
And you've transferred. So I want to get Adam's perspective, and I'd also like to get yours as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I guess my perspective on it is I think that you should go where you're wanted. You want to be a part of a program that wants you for who you are and believe that you're going to contribute to a team. And if you're not playing somewhere, then by all means, you should go play for a program that you believe you're going to have a bigger part of. And it's more fun to be on the field. It's as much as you want to be a good teammate and support your teammates. If you're playing a collegiate sport, you want to be on the field making the plays. And if you haven't gotten that chance, with the program, by all means, you should have the right to look elsewhere. Why should you be held hostage for 4 years? Like, you want to enjoy your experience playing college sports, and college coaches leave all the time. And if you're a big part of that coach's recruiting class and you want to continue to stick with them, I think by all means you should be able to go and transfer. I know there's all the stuff with NIL money and things like that, but you got to take care of yourself first and make sure that you're enjoying your experience. And if you're happy where you are, it allows you to also be a better teammate because you really like it. You feel like you're a big part of what they're trying to do. You're helping them win. And I think all the outside stuff going on within your life, it helps feel better. If you're just kind of sitting there and you're not playing, it kind of becomes frustrating. You don't want it to become a negative that kind of wraps around everything else. Like, I think, for example, if you go somewhere, you're playing well and like you're able to like fully enjoy a lot of the other things that the college has to offer. I think college is a lot more than just the sports. Sports is a big part of it for athletes, and you want to be able to enjoy that part of it before you enjoy the other stuff, because that's a huge part of your life. You're with your teammates all the time. You're constantly training. When you're in the off season, you're still training for your team and for your season. And when it's going well and you are enjoying that opportunity with that program, a lot of other things, I think it just kind of has an effect on other parts of your life too.
Gio?
Yeah, 100%. So to bounce off what he was saying, I think the transfer portal is a little bit of a double-edged sword. You got a lot of guys getting a lot of benefit out of it, but you have a lot of programs either getting worse or losing guys that originally committed to go give their heart and soul to that team for 4 years that are no longer doing that.
Right.
As a very loyal player, like, I don't understand that side of the transfer portal. I don't agree with the transfer portal in regards to like being somewhere you wanted to be at and then playing well, so you're just like, all right, see you guys. I'm not a huge fan of that part of it, but at the end of the day, it's the kids' careers who are doing it, and they got to make the moves that they feel are best for their careers. For my example, personally, out of the portal and just out of personal experience here, the transfer portal can be a really good thing. I absolutely loved UConn. I love the coaches. I love the coaching staff there. I love the teammates I had there. I had a really good experience there, but it was pretty clear that my opportunities on the field weren't going to be, very, very many. So for me, it was a better decision for me to just go home, play at Siena, play with all my teammates from high school. I got a couple on that squad, bunch of really good group of guys that I know very well. Head coach was on me out of high school at Princeton, and then now I'm gonna have a really good opportunity to go play for somebody who's had faith in me for a while now. He's had his eyes on me for a long time, and I'm really excited to go make an impact with that program, as opposed to being a guy who's overlooked and maybe not good enough at UConn. So I'm glad I'm getting away from that, as much as my experience there helped me out career-wise and career trajectory-wise. I got a lot of benefit out of it. now I'm able to go compete and put my heart and soul on the line the way I do for the Corns during the college season, which I'm super pumped about. Couldn't be more excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, there was a pitcher too that was in college too that is in the big leagues right now that he was overlooked or didn't get as many reps or innings or anything like that. He's doing pretty good now. His name's Chris Sale. So
yeah, I'd say he's doing pretty well.
Yeah. So, what do you think is going to be the difference between pitching at UConn and pitching at Siena up in New York?
Yeah, at UConn, there's our team was just so talented for those 2 years. I was there for 2 years with just so much depth in the bullpen and so many guys that have been out there for big spots and have that experience and might have better stuff than me, might throw a little harder than me. And it was really just a combination of me not doing enough to be ready for the spring and everybody else being more than capable to go out there and throw 30, 40 innings out of the pen. So it was kind of just a bad combination for me. Didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but at the end of the day, obviously with where my stuff's at this summer and the way I'm throwing right now, I'm more than ready to go compete in the spring.
How would you assess? Oh, go ahead, Adam. You were going to say something.
No, I was
okay.
just
I thought you were going to.
agreeing with him. I guess all I was going to say is I can't wait to watch him compete in the spring. I know he's been waiting for that opportunity, and he's going to get that chance. I think the big sentence he said was the coach that has a lot of faith in him and has been on him for a while. So it shows, when you enter the transfer portal and you have a coach that has believed in you for quite some time and to continue to stick with you. I think it could have been very easy for a coach to be like, oh, you didn't want me the first time. I don't want you now the second time. So, you like when you see things like that when, player makes a decision to go to a different school, and UConn has a great baseball reputation and they're a great baseball program. Unfortunately for Gio, it didn't pan out there, but now a great chance for him to go to Siena with the coach that believes in him, that is going to put him on the mound and give him spots to pitch in some big moments. And I think he's more than ready for that. You see him here last summer, what were you, 19, maybe still 18 at the time, pitching in 8th inning, 9th inning rules with the game tied. Same thing here. And all it took, like you said, was Coach Murph believing in you. Like Coach Murph didn't have to be like, oh, Gio's going to be my guy or give you that opportunity. And he did, and he made the most out of it. And I think that's what was special about it, is that it wasn't like, like handed to him. Like he had to earn that opportunity, a couple of good outings, and Coach Murph ran with his horses that he felt like was going to help him make a deep run. I think that was something about our team last season comparison to this season, was we had a lot of guys already. So the bridge was kind of built. Yeah. I think what's been cool about this summer's team is the transformation we've taken defensively. Like guys are making ridiculous plays defensively now that weren't being made. In the month of June, you see guys like Eric Matthews and Sean Connolly that just didn't have confidence at times. And now every time they take the baseball, they know they're going to get outs. And then you just see guys like slowly figure it out at the plate, like Charlie Walsh, like Jack Sweeney, like Jack, for example, after he came back from his injury, completely different player. So it's cool to see, like in such a short period, the improvement and the steps that so many guys have taken in a 1 month span.
What do you think is more important, Gio? The confidence in yourself or the confidence in the 7 players behind you and your catcher?
Obviously, the having confidence or you're saying for the shell to have confidence in me on the mound?
Yeah, like what's more? What do you think is more important? Having the confidence when you take the ball, or having the confidence knowing that let me rephrase it, that the players behind you are going to make the play, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going out there, my approach is kind of like 0-0, 0-1, 1-0, low counts where we're not too deep into it. In my head, I'm like, one of my fielders are going to make a sick play behind me right now. I'm going to flip something soft in here, get some weak contact, and get an out. Like, let's get this inning rolling. Let's get back in the dugout. And then, once I got 2 strikes, even if it's a 2-2, 3-2 count, in my mind, it's like I'm putting this kid away. Like anything I throw right now, he's not going to be able to hit. That's like that true confidence in yourself to just know, like, I can throw any of my 4 pitches right here and I'm getting the strikeout. Like that.
So combination.
Yeah, it's got to be a combination. You got to trust the defense early in counts, and then once you get ahead, like that's when you can't mess up. You can't make a mistake as a pitcher once you're ahead.
Gotcha. Adam?
Something that I think is cool about Gio's game this summer is last summer he was a 1 inning guy for us, and now he can pitch 2-3 innings and still be the same pitcher and have the same amount of success he had in the first inning. And not many guys can do that. And I think when Sienna watches him, they're like, like we can put him in the ball game in the 7th. He could potentially get us 9 outs. You normally don't want to put that sort of stress on a pitcher. It's a lot longer of a season in college ball, and you're playing Friday, Saturday. Like, yes, I get that we're playing 6 days a week, but it's impossible to be able to do that for every time you go out there in the college season. But to know if you're playing a high caliber team and you have a lead, you're into the 7th and 8th inning, it could be a 6-out save for him. And that wasn't something that he had experience doing last summer. So it's fun being able to see him add different elements to his game and just being able to take off with it and have a lot of success, but also have a lot of confidence within himself. And like you said, you have to believe in your teammates behind you that are going to make the play. You're not going to strike everybody out as much as you want to strike everybody out. That's going to ruin your pitch count. So you see guys like Scans diving into the stands yesterday, Walsh and Kenny Noe turning double plays up the middle. You need that. And then the way our outfielders have been, they cover so much ground. I know that there's been times where a couple of plays haven't been made, but for the most part, that same mentality has to continue with whatever team that you're on. And that's what leads to team success. It starts with confidence within your own game, but also the belief within the 9 guys behind you, the 8 guys behind you that are going to make the same play and play at the same level that you
100%.
are.
So I have this weird thing where I'm a name guy, where sometimes, more often than not, I feel that a player's name, and Adam, I may have, this is like a I don't know, it's like a superstition maybe, but I think I may have shared it with you or Nick up in the booth. But there was a player years ago that was just coming up, and I'm a Red Sox fan, so was a Red Sox player. and I'm sitting there with my father-in-law, and I'm thinking, and I said, this guy's going to be a superstar. He goes, how do you know? I said, because he's got the name. He's got the name. And he goes, so that's going to make him a superstar? I said, probably. Mookie Betts. That was the player, and look what happened. I'm not kidding you, and this is this is 100% honest. Gio Conte's got the same ring. So I'm not trying to pump up your ego or anything like that, but I like watching you pitch because you come to the mound with a certain amount of confidence, and I was digging it last year, like I said, when you first came on, you're out there, you're all serious, you're throwing the ball, the chains are flopping all over the place and everything. And then they say your name. That's a name you remember. It's just one that you remember. My name is Mike Minarski. No one's going to remember that crap. They may know me as Mike or whatever. Adam, yeah, play-by-player, that's got a ring to it. That's good. Gio Conte, that's got a ring to it. And you take that swag. Dude, I really feel, and I'm not saying this to anybody else that's been on this show, even though they are very talented. You got a shot. I really think you got a shot.
I appreciate it.
So, I mean, maybe it's the name. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think it's the talent that you bring. I think it's the excitement that you bring to the fans, because at the end of the day, if you can get outs, they're going to love you if you can put asses in seats.
Yeah. And
right?
That's the big thing, is just getting people to show up to Dodd so we can play in front of some fans. It's always a great time. Home games at Dodd, especially like Friday, Saturday when we got a packed house, like it just makes everything so much better.
So let's talk about that. 5,267 fans. Last week?
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, July
July
18th.
18th, right? Amazing. Why are people not coming on a Wednesday or a Thursday night or something like that? I don't get
It
it.
is. It is tough seeing our early week crowd sometimes. I think we do a great job with advertising, throwing some events at the stadium. I think we're doing all the right things to get people in the stands. Just obviously when it's 95 and sunny on a Tuesday, sometimes you're not going to get
That's
too many
tough.
people at the
Yeah,
ballpark.
that is tough. It's tough being on third base with a camera. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we've also had some tough luck with the rain this summer. I think it was 3 of our
Yeah.
biggest nights got rained out. We had 1,500 people outside the stadium before the gates were even open one day, just for us to get rained out, and that's frustrating because
100%.
we're all pumped to get to play in front of the home crowd. We're all excited because we know, like, with that energy, like, it's probably going to be a win. Like, Dodd's got some magic in it. There's no secret to that. With some of the stuff that's happened in that stadium, some of the wins we ran away with that we probably shouldn't have, and like that home crowd, that stadium, those fans, it's just there's just something special about it at Dodd. Yep.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Adam won't tell you, but he's up there when nobody can see him, and he's going like this.
Oh, you're probably going nuts up there in the booth.
He's losing it up there.
Oh,
Hey!
Yeah.
And he throws a little of this in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, we had it all going on Connor Scaling at the walk-off hit yesterday. We've had a couple of those. I remember when Detweiler won the Derby. Papers are flying up there, or not the Derby, the home run swing off against Westfield.
That was great.
Every time you win games like that, laundry's being done up there. It's a spin cycle up there. We're having fun. It's a party at Dodd. When you have big moments like that, you got to embrace it. Baseball's a game about moments, and there's only so many of them. And when they come, you got to enjoy them for what they are. So, plenty of big moments. You see Hector's no-hitter last summer, pretty special moment. How he won the championship last summer on a walk-off hit. So, yeah, like, it's just stuff that it feels like it's perfectly scripted, and you have to enjoy them. And they don't come around very often, but when they do, you have to make the most out of them. So, yeah, it's a special feeling to have, and it's, like Gio said, it's a lot of fun when the fans are behind you. And when we had nearly Friday night celebrating the community of Norwich and the baseball tradition here and the show that we put on for them, 14 runs against the first place team in our league. I think it goes to show that our team's for real. And when you have the Dodd Stadium magic, when you have the 10th player there, that's our home fans. I think we got some of the best fans in the league, and when they rally behind you like that, it makes the experience completely different. I think it transforms it for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. One of the last questions I have for you, Gio, is that, we talked earlier, I mentioned earlier that you guys are riding a 6-game winning streak. Hopefully lucky 7 is going to happen tomorrow. You got 3 with the Lake Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Vermont. Now, you guys seem to be a better road team sometimes than you are a home team. Does that seem about right? Or
Yeah, at times we can be. It's easy to play in Vermont, not because of the team that they have there. They have a really good team out in Vermont. Very deep bullpen. Their starting pitching is really good. One of the better lineups in the league as well.
Oh yeah, they can hit.
We talked about fans. They always got them. So it's just really fun to go up there and play.
Well, there's nothing else to do there but watch baseball and eat Ben & Jerry's. I mean, that's really it. I mean,
I don't think we played in front of less than 2,000 people. Maybe 2,500 even. It's like in my time going up to Vermont since I've been in the Futures League. So the fact that we can always go up there, play in front of a big crowd and get to play against a good team, I think it kind of gets the energy going. It's good for the team chemistry. It's good for our energy as a whole to be up there playing against a good squad and knowing that we got to be locked in and being able to be in the hotel and hanging out on Church Street during the day. It kind of just brings all the guys together, makes a trip fun, helps us win games.
So, Adam, one of the things that you and I were talking about yesterday, specifically, we were talking about the playoffs, and we were talking about Worcester being on top of the league, and of course the Lake Monsters right behind them. And you had said that the Lake Monsters were going to catch them.
Yeah, I guess now I should say I hope not, right? We're going to go up there and we're going to play them and we got to win games. I think you want to finish first or second in this. Oh, I think my
looks like Adam got hit by the frozen ray
Oh,
gun.
all right.
Oh, he's
Sorry
back.
There
about
we
that.
go.
Yeah, can you
He must have had a power
yeah,
up.
sorry, it froze. Yeah. No, going back to your question, I think Worcester had started to slide a little bit there. They had lost some of their top end players. They just lost 4 All-Stars, but I guess I should say I hope that they don't catch them now. We're about to go play them for a 3-game series, technically 4. We have a suspended game that we have a lead in. That's going to be wrapped up on Wednesday there. So
it's actually
think
4
you
games,
wanna,
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically,
Technically
score-wise,
4 decisions. Yeah.
one of them's a half inning though.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's a half inning. So
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Four
I think it's
games,
about
but like
playing
3 games and a half inning.
Shut him down.
That's right. Yeah.
So we can go 4-0 in Vermont. We got a shot at it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So-
I don't know. I guess you want to rephrase your question before I got cut off there.
No. I mean, it's like I guess who would you? I mean, do you think that the Bravehearts are going to fall into second? And is that a good thing for the Sea Unicorns? And then Gio, I'm going to ask you the same question but different.
Okay, I think we match up better against Worcester. I think we played them really well, but to the same point, we played Vermont really great when we were in Vermont in the middle of July, and I think that 3-game series was a turning point in our season. I think once we showed that we can go into hostile territory and win some big games, I think that was the shift in our season. If we don't win those games, it could be a very different story right now. We could be tied for 4th and just hoping to sneak our way in. So I think we've shown at times throughout the season we can beat Worcester, we can beat Vermont. It doesn't matter who's on the other side. And I'm a big believer in it doesn't matter who's on the other side. It's all about what's in our clubhouse and what our belief system is. And as long as we have a strong belief system and we believe in what we're doing, that's all that matters. I can go and say like, it's better if we play Vermont. It's better if we play Worcester. I think all that matters is it's better if we're playing at home. And if we get to play at home, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. It's a lot more fun to win games at home in front of your crowd. And I think this Dodd Stadium crowd that we're going to pull in for a playoff run is going to be pretty special here, knowing what the future is and how certain it is. With a lot of things, a lot of different variables, I think easily we're going to draw a big attendance because of the impact that these games have, not just within our team, but within this city. And to be able to embrace it, enjoy it, and be able to live within the moment and see things play out. So that's kind of my thought process on getting into the postseason. It starts within. You got to win from within, and I think there's plenty of talented teams, lots of talented players within this league, but it starts with the team and the way our team has played for the last 6 games. If we keep that rolling, I think it's going to be a good next couple of weeks down the finish line.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback one thing that you had said, about the uncertainty of the future. One thing that I don't know if you know, you probably do know, but at the last Norwich town council meeting, they took the motion off of the table at this point to sell Dodd Stadium. So now that doesn't mean it won't be sold. You know what I mean? But right now it is off the table. So again, but that's a good thing, I think going forward.
Well, I have a question for you. Was
me?
Was that motion made after the record-setting crowd at Dodd Stadium, or was that made before? I'm just curious.
Yes.
After?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that goes to show, I think, how important baseball is here. It's been here for 30 years. Now it's in its 31st season. So I think that they recognize it. And I think it's a big part of the city, no matter what team is playing here. The Defenders, the the Norwich Navigators, Connecticut Tigers, Norwich Unicorns. They just want to have baseball here. And I think that it's in their best interest to back and support the franchise because it does so much good. Like you see all the little kids here, they're 4 or 5 years old, and you're molding their experience in a great game, but
Yeah.
also just about. I just remember as a kid growing up going to baseball games, and it's so important to be able to go to youth games. I didn't have minor league baseball close to me. I think the closest minor league team was over an hour and a half away. And I was able to go to a couple of those games, but I think it's so important for those cities when I went up to those games and how much they embrace their crowd and all the young kids. That's why I love seeing them come here,
Right.
and just have fun and just enjoy it. So I'm excited, and I hope that tradition continues.
So, Gio, when I started asking the question that I just asked to Adam about the playoffs and the playoff run, you moved really close. Like I'm thinking, all right, he's getting serious now. Who would you rather face in the first round? I mean, who would you rather face, Worcester, Vermont, or it doesn't matter?
So honestly, to spin this off of the importance of baseball in Norwich, who we play doesn't matter. I think what we got to do is play our best baseball possible these next 2 weeks to put ourselves in a position to host as many playoff games as possible, because that's what's going to be good for long-term success in Norwich and having baseball there. I mean, from personal experience, I can say that playing in Norwich is the greatest summer ball experience I could have asked for the last 2 years. There's so many people and like so many amazing people and just so much hard work that goes into keeping it open with the way it is right now and keeping our games running smoothly and all that. Like Lee's out there so early every day, making sure our field's ready. Tyler's out there too.
Oh yeah, they love baseball. Those guys are just amazing between Lee and Tyler and the
Bruce
rest of the group.
Bruce in the clubhouse for like literally 10 to 12 hours a day. KC's always at the stadium. Like there's just so many amazing people in Norwich just that love the game and just want to see college guys have success and have fun with the game, where the best way us as unicorns can repay all them is getting one of those top 2 seeds and getting an extra playoff game hosted in Norwich.
Gotcha. Adam, do you have anything for Mr. Conte as for right now?
No, I don't have anything specific for him. Excited to go watch him take them out over there. And Vermont, it's always a good time when he pitches over there. And yeah, again, I think our front office does a great job. And
don't forget Heather.
That was what was
Heather too. Yeah, of course.
Heather. Yeah, I think you can't.
She hasn't left in 30 years. I mean,
within the front office.
I think she has a bed there.
Yeah, 100%. You know, as she should. She and I think it's pretty cool. Like she started here as a 16-year-old. I want to say just working in concessions, and now she's the assistant general manager. And you see Lee in the morning getting there at 8 a.m. And then with all the rain that we had, like the way that he keeps the field the way it is with Tyler out there nonstop. Chris is running around all the time. KC with marketing and promotions, like what we are able to do every night. Like I just get the luxury of being able to call the games and enjoy what I get to do as a part of the organization. So it's a lot of fun. It means a lot more when we get to play games at home and win at home. That was so special about last summer was yes, that we won, but we won it at home in front of our crowd. You know, like I think it still would have been special if we had won the game in Westfield, but it doesn't have the same impact. So yeah, again, you know, a huge thank you to our front office, because it's a small front office, and that's what minor league sports is all about, is just kind of everyone pulling on the same rope. So yeah, super cool to be a part of it. And yeah, important 12 games left, and I think we still control our own destiny.
Doesn't matter who's on the other side of the ball right now. We just got to do our job.
So I'm gonna I guess end it up with one statement here, and I think Gio, I'm going to use one of your words from at the beginning of the beginning of the podcast here. 5,267 people at Dodge Stadium, largest in franchise history, undeniable. 2 so far, Futures League championships in a row, undeniable. 3, undeniable. Gio Conte, undeniable, baby. All right, Gio, thank you very much for coming in.
Appreciate you for having me.
Plager, we'll see you around, bro. All right.
Yeah, we will. Friday night, we're
next
back
Monday,
home.
We will be back on here. See Unicorns for lunch. We'll have another Sea Unicorn player. and we'll get their perspective as well. So thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll see you at the ballpark.
Absolutely. Have a good one.